right, well, let's go ahead and get started. Looks like folks are still joining, but I want to make sure that we have enough time for today's content. So thank you all for being here, and apologies for the last minute change. We did send out the notification on Friday that today's session will be a marketing presentation given by our Director of Marketing and Outreach, Will Deegan. Before I hand it over, just wanted to note that we are scheduling a separate session next week, Monday the 15th at the same time, so 1 to 2 p.m. We are just waiting for confirmation from National Grid that that time works for them, but as soon as we have that confirmation, we will send out the meeting invite so that folks can share that with your appropriate teams to be in. With that, Will, I will hand it over to you, and I see you've already started recording, so I'll hand it over to you.
I have actually not started recording, but I'm not sure why that's recording now, but I will start as well. I guess Richie might have set it up to automatically record, but thanks everybody. I'm excited to be here and excited to share some updates we have in the marketing and outreach department. Let me share my screen and welcome. See what's going on here. There we go. So brief agenda. We're going to be going over a couple of things today. We're going to start with what's new. So
that is how it works. And like, we want this load off my truck.
Donna, could you mute yourself? Sorry, thank you. So we're going to review the new collateral submission and approval process, reporting, and our new planned asset library for grantees. Then we're going to briefly review ongoing responsibilities. Then we will open up for questions, and Ellen from Jamestown and Travis from Sherburne are going to share some of their approaches toward these marketing questions. So start off with what's new. So we are beginning to implement a new marketing collateral submission system for faster approvals. This should streamline the process a lot so that it's not just a bunch of emails going back and forth. I know everybody is moving everything into Airtable, so we will be moving the marketing and outreach collateral submission into Airtable as well, and you will all have access to that pretty quickly, starting today. We are putting together a new marketing and outreach tracker and a new reporting cadence. We are no longer going to be requiring bi-weekly updates to the outreach tab in your trackers. We're moving those to quarterly, which should make life a lot easier for everybody. But the requirements are pretty much the same. We're going to go. Could everybody please mute? Sorry, thank you. We're going to review the asset library first steps. This is a tool that we want to get up and running for everybody pretty quickly. And once we get the collateral submission system being actively used, it should make that really easy. I just want to emphasize that everybody's doing a great job so far with submitting stuff for approval. And if you follow the steps that we're going to outline here, your project will stay compliant. So why are we doing this? Like I said, we want to make sure that approvals happen quickly. We don't want stuff to get lost in endless email threads. We want to make sure that everything is together in one place. We want to streamline and reduce the reporting requirements because there's really no need to have bi-weekly updates to your outreach stuff. As long as you're on track and as long as you're submitting things in a timely fashion, we are confident that you'll be able to report a little bit less often. We want to make sure that we're encouraging sharing of resources and best practices among grantees. Some of you have great ideas. Some of you have created incredible assets, and putting together a central repository for all of those assets will make it so that if you need inspiration, if you're looking for an approach to a specific sort of marketing question, you'll have a place that you can go where it's very likely that other people will already have encountered that same question, and they may have created something that answers your question. We're also looking to speed up payment requests here. If everything is submitted and if we have all of the stuff on file, it will make payments a lot smoother and a lot quicker. Like I said, the asset library is going to be a great resource for everybody, and it will also allow us to sort of plan ahead a little bit more so that Connect All can work with its social team and with regional reps and governors reps to make sure that we're effectively amplifying all of the incredible work that you guys are doing through our own press and social media channels. All right, so first things first, the grantee collateral approval form. It's going to live in Airtable. You all should have access to it now, although we will send around an email at the end of this recapping all of the URLs and stuff, so there's no need to write anything down now. It's very simple. You fill out a form, you attach your collateral in the design files section at the bottom. You click submit, and we get an alert, and we have a checklist and a queue that shows up in Airtable, which will allow us to instantly review and approve things if they're ready to be approved. Once we approve things, you will get a notification email from Airtable saying this collateral piece titled "This is approved." If there is an issue or if there is some sort of an edit that needs to be done, we will follow up via email. So make sure when you're submitting this form, you put the email of the person who is authorized to have these conversations in the email field at the top of the form. Moving along. So updated reporting and planning. This is going to look a little complicated, but most of the stuff here is already in your submitted plans or is already being reported on a regular basis already. And like I said, we're going to be moving this to a quarterly system. So right now we're working on importing all of the existing information from your marketing plans and previous reports into the new template. We will email that to you once it's done, which will be probably the end of this week or the beginning of next. When you get that email, please review it and make sure that everything is filled out. The template only needs to be updated quarterly. Make sure that you're including achievements from the previous quarter there, and make sure that you are inputting what you plan on doing in the next quarter as well. The workbook is going to replace the outreach tab, and again, only needs to be submitted once a quarter. You can use the same workbook, so don't make new copies unless you want to save one for in like a certain snapshot for legacy purposes, but this should be sort of an ongoing running tally of everything that you've done. So there's a number of tabs. The first one I'm going to go over is the top lines tab. It is essentially an estimated timeline of outreach milestones through the end of this year. Examples of top lines include things like we plan on connecting our first customer in August of 2026. We plan on completing 50% of our construction by September. We plan on connecting this key anchor institution in October, and we're going to have a ribbon cutting ceremony when we connect our first customer to say that we're officially open for business. The goal of this tab is to sort of give us a broad sense of what the big marketing and outreach milestones are. We're not looking for like specifics about splicing or miles of fiber laid, unless that's something that you plan on doing outreach and marketing around. But the idea here is that with this snapshot of what these big achievements are and what these big milestones are, we will be able to better keep governmental stakeholders in the loop and make sure that the engagement is being amplified in a way that makes sense. So like if we want to make sure that ESD regional reps are showing up at a specific event, we need to know about this far enough in advance so that they can get that information on their calendars. You can add to the table, and you can revise the table as milestones change. So this should be sort of a running estimate of like what you think are going to be the big things that we want to publicize in the next quarter are. The second tab, or excuse me, the third tab. I'm skipping over the second one because it's just qualitative questions that everybody has already answered in their outreach plans, and we will input all of that information into tab 2 for you. Tab 3 is a timeline of specific distinct outreach and marketing efforts through the end of 2026. Again, it doesn't need to be complete at this point. Please feel free to add to this as you develop more plans, or strike things out if something gets canceled. Examples of these types of efforts can include things like mail campaigns, door-to-door works, social media campaigns, events that you're planning, like groundbreakings or ribbon cuttings, press releases, and again, add to this table as you plan new events and new initiatives. Tab 4 is a risk registry. This is where we want you to store information about any of the risks or challenges that you've been facing. If we know about the challenges and the risks, we have a much easier time helping you to brainstorm what can be done to mitigate this stuff. Examples of things that might go here could be issues with translations, issues with contacting consumers in certain specific areas, delays in production, stuff like that. And the goal here, again, is to make sure that we're sharing these challenges so that in stand-ups like this and in the conversations that you may have with the Connect All marketing and outreach teams, we can support each other in finding solutions to these issues. Tab 5 is the quarterly report. So this is the same information as you have been inputting into your quarterly reports so far. There should be one line per quarter. So there's a reporting period column on the left. This should be all quantitative information, so specific numbers, and just one line every quarter as you move through the next few quarters. Tab 6 is the qualitative quarterly reporting section. It's the same information again as is currently included in your quarterly reports, and you'll fill out one block here per quarter. So you should have one block for every quarter left, and just enter the same information as you would into your quarterly report on this, and then send us the finalized worksheet once you have, at the same time as you submit your quarterly reporting information. All right, next step. This is not in production yet, but it is something that's going to get up and running in the next couple of weeks as folks start to use the new collateral submission system. We are creating an asset library, which will be a central resource for inspiration for all of the grantees who are interested. Examples of things that we'd like to include in the asset library include things like mail, door hangers, lawn signs, social media collateral, billboards, examples of press releases, and any photos that you guys want to include. Participation in this is voluntary. So we will be reaching out to all of you to ask if you would like to opt in to this asset library. Everybody will have access to it, but we'll only include your information if you choose to opt in to including it. So this should be a great resource for people who want to see examples of what other projects have done when they're looking for inspiration, something like a postcard or lawn sign. And I'm excited to create a central place for everybody to share this type of information. Okay, a brief note on ongoing responsibilities. Again, these have not changed, but I just want to make sure that we review them quickly before we end. Make sure that you're submitting all of your collateral before it goes into production through Airtable for approval. Make sure that you include the Connect All logo and the attribution language that's outlined in your GDA. You can find that attribution language in paragraph 23 and in Exhibit I of your grant dispersal agreements. For press releases, please make sure that you submit copy for your press releases to us at least 10 days before you plan on letting that standing them wide. This gives us enough time to review them and to gather quotes. Press releases take a little bit more time than just like a postcard or something. So we just want to make sure that this stuff is submitted far enough in advance that we don't need to rush. Make sure that you include the ESD boilerplate, which I will send around to everybody, and also make sure that you are attributing Connect All and ESD at some point in the release by saying like this project is funded by a New York State grant through Connect All or something like that. If anybody has specific questions about good ways to include that attribution, I am happy to chat with you all about that separately. When it comes to reporting, make sure you're tracking your outreach and marketing efforts, which I know you all are already doing. Make sure you're submitting your marketing reports quarterly. And please, when you send them, we would love it if you could include photos and customer testimonials as well. The Assembly and the Senate are always excited to hear how the money that they're allocating is being spent, and they always love to hear about happy customers who are pleased with the service that they're getting under these grants. If you have any questions, please make sure you review paragraph 23 and Exhibit I of your GDA in the good faith marketing sections. They have pretty comprehensive information about what the requirements are. And if you still have questions, or even if you just want to run some by us, you can always email me, william.deegan@esd.ny.gov with questions, and make sure that you copy your program manager when you do that as well. One side note, just a little bit more on releases and announcements. Some of you have seen this block of text at the left-hand side of the screen. This is the ESD boilerplate. ESD Comms asks that language be included at the bottom of any grantee announcements or press releases. And again, I will send that around to everybody after this. As far as the timelines, we're not asking for concrete, definitive dates with your quarterly reports, but they should have at least a roadmap of approximately when you're planning on doing announcements and releases and what they will be about. It can be very broad. And it's okay if that changes, but with that information, we're able to better mobilize groups like elected officials or chamber reps or ESD reps who you might like to have attend your events or be in the loop about big milestones. Please try to get us your announcements and releases at least 10 days ahead of the date you plan on going live. This gives us time to obtain things like quotes for you to include. Generally, when we're trying to get a quote from someone like Commissioner Knight, she is extremely busy, and it can take several days for her to approve something. So the more time we have, the more likely you are to get an awesome quote from her saying, this is why this project is important. We also need to send press releases through an approval process with comms and with intergovernmental affairs. So this gives us enough time to make sure that all of the people who need to have input into the announcement process have the time that they need. Make sure you're including the ESD boilerplate again. Make sure that you're attributing connect all, saying where the money's from, and make sure that when you send us, you tell us if you need a quote from Commissioner Knight or from someone else in ESD, so that we can make sure that we flag these early enough for us to get you these quotes. So on that note, that concludes the presentation about marketing, but I would, or before we go into questions, I would like to just turn over the floor for just a moment to Ellen from Jamestown, because she's been doing an incredibly good job with their social media, and I know that she's excited to share some of the stuff that she and the team have created, and so I'd like to give her a chance to just present a couple of the things and talk a little bit about her thought process here. And then we're also going to turn it over to Travis from Sherburne after her for just a moment to talk a little bit about an exciting referral program that he and the team in Sherburne are working on, which has been quite successful so far. So Ellen, I'm going to turn it over to you for just a second. You should be able to share your screen.
Okay.
Excited to see this stuff. Thank you.
You are very welcome, and thank you so much to you and Selena for inviting me to be part of this. What I have on your screen now, I think you can see, is how we submit to Will for approval the graphics that we're going to use month by month. So this was our group that we approved or got approved in March for April. And one of the things that was important to us was that we needed to educate our population on what an open access network really was. It's a new concept. And to use an analogy, we tried to show that it was a shared highway, that no matter who you were, you could use the same highway or the same fiber, and a number of ISPs could be on that. We went through kind of a rough winter, so that kept us from doing a lot of our fiber work. And so we decided we would instead start in the spring with this: spring is here and progress is back, look for construction vehicles. So this is just one. I'm just going to go down and hopefully you'll be able to see a few others. Construction installations are underway. These are pictures that we had within our marketing area. And just to let you know, we have a marketing consultant that we use for a number of initiatives. So we asked them to please help us on this Connect All project. We knew it was critically important for us to understand how to best reach our audience. And we do that in a number of ways. These posts are just a couple of them. Ones that we're doing right now relate to bringing the fiber to your neighborhood. And we have amplified that both on social posts, billboards, and we're also doing door-to-door door hangers right now because we are dropping 15,000 drops to homes in our area. So that it's easy for people to sign up when they're ready. They don't have to sign up immediately, but we hope that they'll do that before October because that gives us the time for the rest of the grant period to get them hooked up and running. So this bringing fiber to your neighborhood is one of our key terms that we're using right now. And one more, again, I mentioned that it's so critically important for people to understand why it's time to get connected now. We are in a pretty heavily competitive environment. We have Spectrum, we have Kinetic, we have Impact, which is an internet-based that uses the mobile devices only, and so they're using cell service. But they are doing a lot of competitive advertising, primarily against us, and they keep having bigger and bigger discounts and longer and longer periods of the same service costs. So we wanted people to know that when you sign up, you are going to get what you want, what you need, and that there's no cost for your installation. We aren't charging for the equipment during the grant period, and that you'll get your reliable connections, because as they bring on more customers, we have also seen the negative side of that, that some of their infrastructure isn't quite ready for too many customers. And we hope ours certainly is. We're working very, very hard to make sure our early customers are happy. And I'm going to stop sharing this one until I can get my other one, which is a couple of testimonials that I want to get on. So hold on 1 second for me. Sorry about that pause there, just a little bit of a pause. Okay, the reason that we do the why are we not connected or get connected now was simply because we wanted to make sure people were able to get what they needed when they needed it. And I'm just having a slight problem here, so I'm going to share my other screen, hopefully, with you. We also have done a number of reels, which is something that maybe all of you have done. We didn't start with reels. We really wanted to start with something that was a little simpler with social posts, and mostly what we've done is organic. But we have done a couple of longer reels, longer than what I would call the traditional 30-second ones. And the reason that we did that is because we thought it was more important to get the information out in a very easy package instead of trying to really push very hard to get it all within 30 seconds. So let's see if I can find one of those for you. I'm going to try here. We don't always have good luck on ours. We did get some testimonials, and I think, Will, you mentioned how important testimonials are. So we got some written testimonials via email from some of our earliest adoptees, the ones who were what we call our early adopters. And it was really very interesting. We wanted at first to do video with them, and they said, oh, not yet, but they were anxious to say how pleased they were, especially with the installation, which was critically important. So in order to meet what I would call our diverse group, we wanted to make sure that our graphics also reflected that. So you can see that.
Ellen, if you want me to share the reel, I have it pulled up here.
Yeah, that would be great. Yep, if you want to do that,
Sure.
I would love that. And so I'm going to quit sharing and let you do that because I think that'll make it a little easier.
Sounds good.
Well, he's looking for it just again. So, you know, we've gotten a couple of these out there. You can see them. We post them on our social channels, and we also have them on our website. We've used them as we've gone out to community groups. Go ahead, Will.
All right.
If we have questions, can we jump in, or would you prefer us to hold them to the end?
Let's just hold them until the end for now. I think we're almost done. We're just going to have Travis speak briefly, and we should have about 15 or 20 minutes for questions at the end.
Okay, thank you very much for the time. Appreciate it, Will.
Yeah. Thank you, Ellen. And I'm going to bring up Travis from Sherburne, who's got some exciting things to say about their referral program.
Okay, exciting, I guess, is relative, but sure. Will reached out to me this morning and asked if I would speak about our referral program. What we're offering is a $25 credit on the monthly bill for folks that refer a new customer that stays on for at least 1 month. So it's a $25 referral credit to not only the person that gives the referral, but $25 credit to the person that signs up that's referred. So so far we just started this about 2 weeks ago. We've received somewhere around 10 new signups for service, 5 of which have been referrals. These will become credits, not cash. That was important that we're not handing out cash. And these will be credits applied through through Stripe, through our credit card, whatever you want to call it, agent, through that process. Obviously, we need to keep track. The hard part of this is going to be the administrative portion of it, because we'll need to make sure that the new customer has stayed on for at least a month, and then we will issue the credits going forward. So we've added this referral line to both our online sign-up form and to the paper copy sign-up form that we have in the offices. And we've been promoting this on our Facebook page, and we're getting ready to run an ad in the local paper explaining the same. So that's it. It's a $25 referral program. We think that our customers are really our best ambassadors of our network. So we're trying to leverage them. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share. And I'm willing
Absolutely.
to take questions. Yep.
Can you just talk a little bit about the steps that you needed to take in order to implement this?
Well, our first and largest, well, obviously we reached out to you, Will, and the Connect All team, because this was new. We weren't quite sure how what the Connect All office would think about this, and what we're doing. Really, we're operating this, like all of you, as really as a not-for-profit. So these $25 credits, we're going to be saving the documents, and we're going to be treating them as a marketing cost. So obviously, if we're going to seek reimbursement from the Connect All for these $25 credits, there needs to be some bit of admin. We did type up some guide rails that we're operating under, sent them to Connect All for their approval on this. Does that answer your question, Will?
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Ellen, and thank you, Travis. I really appreciate both of you taking the time to talk about some of the awesome stuff that you're doing on your projects. And let's open up the floor to questions and discussion.
Hi, I did have a question. Eileen Peet from Intern Network, our sales and marketing manager. My question was for Ellen. I was wondering if she had the metrics for what the average watch time was for her reels, and when she increased that from the average 30 seconds, to a little higher, what her average watch time was.
Thank you, Eileen, for that question. I don't have those stats right here, but I will definitely send those to you. Because, we were worried about that, having that extended time on a reel. But
Yeah.
so far, we have had pretty good metrics, surprisingly enough. So I will send you that if you're patient with me. Send me your email.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Okay, I guess not.
Could I jump in with one more question? Sorry.
Yeah, of course.
Do you think it would be helpful if maybe we started just like a monthly, like a marketing meeting where, the people from the different organizations could maybe just get, 45 minutes on the calendar where we could all discuss and kind of brainstorm and bounce, like what's working or what's not, off of each other, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, if you think that would be helpful, I would be happy to help to put that together. Let me just talk to the Connect All team, and I can get back to you on that.
Okay. Just because I know, some of the things that Ellen mentioned, going through some of the same things and broadband is, so different from other markets. It'd be nice if we could just kind of, bounce some of our ideas or thoughts off one of another.
Absolutely. I love that idea. And I think you're right on point that the marketing angle here is different from a lot of markets. So I think that collaboration would probably be a great tool.
Okay. Well, thank you, Will. Thank you, Ellen, and thank you, Travis. That was really, really interesting, and it's so fascinating to see all of the different ways that the different grantee teams have been approaching marketing. Does anyone on the line, grantees included, have any other questions for the Connect All team while we're all here together? Kirsten, I'll also pass it to you before we adjourn if you'd like to give a update to the grantees on the CPF extension request.
Sure. Just thank you to everyone who has been providing the additional information that we've asked for. It's really helpful as we finalize the submissions for Treasury. So just if we do reach back out to you, just make sure to get back to us as quickly as you can, so that we can submit the final materials to Treasury.
Thank you, Kirsten. All right, any grantees have any other questions for Connect All? Anything you'd like to raise for our awareness? All right, well then, thank you all so much. Thanks again, Will, Ellen, and Travis. We'll talk to all of the grantees this week on your weekly touch points. If you have any questions or any concerns between now and then, feel free to reach out to your program managers at any time. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.